I'm going to look at the various pieces in your portfolio and just talk about where I see your strengths are and where you could kind of go with some of your work. This one looks, sort of more like a class exercise than something that I think would be strong for a portfolio. Um, and I think this is, I would say that's not portfolio ready either. I think you could get into some finer detail and more work on the textures and those kinds of things, although it's a bit closer. This piece, I think, is, yeah, again, I would call this more of like a learning project than, obviously, with the Arnold stamp on there, you couldn't use it anyways. But I think, I know this class well, and I think in general, the product of this class is more about sort of learning your way around Maya than it is creating something for your portfolio. Um, and yeah, this one, yeah, it's not professional looking. I don't think you can use that one. Um, I think this is closer to something you could use. Obviously, again, by the way, this Arnold in Maya, you can just use render sequence as opposed to batch render, and it won't give you um, the watermark, the Arnold watermark. So just make sure, when you're rendering sequences in Arnold that you're using render sequence. But yeah, I think that the animation isn't good enough quality. I think the environment is closer than the other stuff. But again, I think you'd want to go over and, these textures are stretched out, not stretched out, and there's just it's kind of lacking finish and detail for a portfolio piece. This one definitely wouldn't include the drawings look sort of a lot of them look kind of childish and the emotion on it's not really adding to it. Um, yeah, and I would say this isn't strong. Like the character doesn't look realistically in the shot, or the nor does the jet, and the colors are kind of varying pretty widely. Um, interesting. Not sure if it's portfolio, and yeah, here you're kind of all over the place and sort of taking various images and chopping them in. It doesn't it doesn't look like a seamless finished image altogether. It looks like too much like a collage of very differing images. And this is okay. And I think that you know this is I recognize this as a assignment, and because if you had done the models, I think this would be something. But the textures aren't particularly great, so I think that if really you're just showing texturing and lighting and rendering, this isn't really special because there's it's kind of just basic applying some materials and hitting the render button for the most part. That's an okay drawing. It's not great. There's some sort of proportion and anatomy issues there. It doesn't look like really she's sitting on a surface, um, and this hand isn't strong and stuff. So, and I would say, yeah, photos can be nice for if you're getting into something like compositing. They often like to see like a photography um, portfolio. And yeah, I would say that's not portfolio quality. So I think, you know, um, yeah, you need to kind of keep producing more work. I think there's not a ton that I would say is really portfolio ready here. And yeah, just keep working on it and try to produce some great stuff.